really happened and what they won't tell you. As a rescue pilot in the Army, just spoke with a flight surgeon buddy of mine that evaluated the shot. For both of us having seen injuries like this in war before in Afghanistan, this is what we saw from the shot. He was shot in the jugular, which is why you saw all of the blood splatter. This puts you into a posture called decorticate posturing, where your arms come up like this. This shows that you have immediate brain damage. They're saying the shot was at 200 yards, and it sounded something like this. That is some sort of subsonic rifle. This is an M4. This is a 5.56 round or a .223 equivalent. If anyone says he was shot by this round, I would not believe it, because the type of round that would have passed through Charlie's neck, highly likely it would have shattered his spine. He would have lost consciousness almost immediately upon being hit, and he would have passed on within a minute, if not instantaneously. The old man they caught, that was not the guy. I'm telling you, this was precise. It was calculated. This was a planned shooting. Whoever took that shot knew exactly what they were doing. When a professional shooter goes for the head, they typically go for the cavity spots right here alongside the nose, because when it goes inside of this cavity, it allows the bullet to go in and hit all of the sensitive tissue, instantly eliminating the target. In this case, you notice when Charlie bent over, he exposed his neck, which the shooter knew that was the only place that they could take the shot at that time, and that's why they did.
This is a political assassination. Do you know that this is our first political assassination in the United States since 1968? Martin Luther King was killed in April of that year, and then Robert F. Kennedy was killed in June of that year. Charlie Kirk was bringing the truth to college campuses, mainly the beauty of God and country. They feared him because he was actually changing the mind of college kids, showing them the insanity of what they are being taught.
A clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
so why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him, and they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't breathe.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart thing, and like he was on drugs, but like he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well, actually, there's an argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer Derek Chauvin that put his knee on the neck. And again, they were taught to do that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department, they teach that as an approved restraint technique. And by the way, this is just a broader point. Our whole country blew up because of this incident, and it was largely based on a lie. Largely based on a lie. We were all.
What was the lie?
The lie is that there was a white police officer that went after a black person just because he was black, and it just wasn't true. He was resisting arrest.
Okay, but he killed him. Like that doesn't.
Well, again, the county medical examiner disagrees. The county medical examiner in the original report.
So then why was he? Why did he get sentenced?
Exactly. That's a good
question.
I'm saying it's because it was largely a show trial where actually they were not allowed to submit
what
evidence.
Trial?
A show trial. A show trial is an example where you put people on display or a show for a political purpose or political means, and this is an example of that where Derek Chauvin was not given a fair hearing in this trial. He was not even allowed to use the police training handbook in his trial to show that he was taught to use that restraining technique.
Okay, so what do you want to happen to Derek Chauvin? Like
pardon.
So he's just free? What is that?
Yes.
What message does that send to like?
It should be. It's a message that you should get an actual fair trial and that you're not going to get a trial by media. You know that you're like a blatant narcissist that needs attention at all times to cut in line. Tell us what's so pressing that you needed to interrupt us before he could even talk.
So, let's talk about the 200 people deported without due process to El Salvador. I don't know if you saw this morning, but a United States citizen was actually deported.
It was not a U.S. citizen. That's not correct.
Liar.
It's not a U.S. citizen. It was actually...
Come on.
No, it was someone that was living there. Yeah, it was not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, this guy just... lies. It's not.
No.
Hey, no. You wanna have a debate, but you don't.
It was
debate.
not a U.S. citizen, first of all.
You want to have a debate, but you actually don't debate. There's nothing more ill-faith than this.
So
you're not.
we already have a mic.
Name 2 times. Name 2 times where you.
Show me you're losing without telling me you're losing.
Wait, Christian? By any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Well, Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There is not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible.
Why can you not respect the existence of trans people?
If you mean lying, I won't lie. But every human being is made in the image of God, and so they deserve human rights.
It's lying to... I'm confused. What?
It is a lie to call somebody
By
a sex...
that they prefer.
To call them a pronoun that is not rooted in reality. Let me ask you, can anyone become a woman?
It doesn't have anything to do with me, so yes.
Okay, if a biological man came next to you in your dormitory or locker room, would you be okay with that?
If they came next to me,
and started
yeah,
changing next to you?
Sure. What does that have to do with me?
A naked man comes next to you in the locker room and just starts saying, hey, how you doing? You have no issue with that.
If it was someone that identified as a woman and they weren't hostile towards me, no, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, so there is a mental delusion out there where people think that they are 12 years old. Should we affirm that?
No.
Okay, so then if we don't affirm that mental delusion, why should we affirm the mental delusion where men who think they are women or women who think they are men?
Because there's a power like problem with age.
And there's no power problem between men becoming women? Or going into locker rooms or winning female trophies or winning female sports?
There can be, but it's all about people being comfortable and being respectful.
You see, this is where we have a difference. So you look at the world through trying to accommodate the comfort of the oppressed. We look at the world through right and wrong, moral and immoral, and just and unjust. We don't care about making people comfortable. We care about what is right. We care about the protection of women.